used to be the type of girl that would know I have somewhere to be and will get ready in like an hour. And baby, I can't get ready in an hour. I gotta do my whole full face of makeup. I gotta do my hair. My natural hair will be looking like a mess, so I have to just like, you know, or I have to lay my wig down or something. Maybe I'm laying my lace or something, and I had to lay it down. Like, why did I think I was gonna do all that in an hour? And then on top of that, I used to go to the mall that same very day and find an outfit because I didn't have nothing to wear. You know how crazy that sounds? Hey guys, it's Aliesha, or you can call me Lai. How are y'all today? I am back for another video. I am excited for this one. I'm excited for every single topic I come on here and talk about, okay? If you see a little bit of stuff in my hair, I think, is it over here? I think it's over here. Pay no attention to that. I tried some new products, absolutely love them, but I think I put a little too much over here, so like, it's kind of like, let me know if you want to like a wash and go video or whatever, because it's really cute, okay? But that's not what we're here for, okay? We are here to do a video on how to live a stress-free, peaceful life, a life full of ease, a life full of peace. I have a couple of tips on how I started to live more of a stress-free, soft life for myself. A lot of people think like soft life means just like luxury or like luxury handbags or giving yourself nice things, and I do think a part of it is that, but look, I feel like you can live a soft life for free, and I feel like for me, soft life for me means more of just like living a life full of peace and ease. Simply because if you have no peace, if you don't have your mind, what do you really have? For real, like, what do you have? I'm gonna talk about, I think, about 6 tips that I have that you can live a soft, free, stressful, girl, I said stressful, oh my god. No, stress-free, okay? Stress-free over here, okay? We stress-free over here, okay? So let's get started, okay? The first thing I want to talk about is that I started doing in my life is saying no to plans when I need to say no. Girl, this has changed my life for the better. Before this time, before I started saying no to plans and things that just were kind of gonna hurt me if I said yes to, I used to be the type of person to say yes to everything. I used to show up to every single event. I used to be like around all the time. I used to just do like some I used to just be like wanting to be seen, or like, not that I wanted to be seen, but like more of like I just wanted to say yes to everything. I also during that time I had discovered like I was being a people pleaser and was trying to please everybody in my life. Then when I learned that saying no is pretty much having respect for yourself and the things that you want out of life, I started to say no, and ever since then I have lived a stress-free life. So let me explain, okay? And a lot of people think too, saying no is kind of like being mean, but it's not, especially when you grew up being like a people pleaser. I don't know what it is, but when you start saying no, you feel so bad. But the thing is like, you're not saying no because you don't want to hang out with certain people, or because you just don't want to go, or because, you know, you're saying no for one, your peace of mind, but you're also saying no to things that you may have to you're also saying no to things that you may have to say no to, just simply because you have to do something in the morning, or you may have something to do the next day that if you said yes to certain plans or that person, or you know, certain things in your life, that could it can distract you, or it can throw you off course, or if you have a certain goal, it could just mess up your goal. And when you have goals for your life, you start to realize like, okay, I can't always say yes to everything because I have to get to where I need to be. The one thing I learned about saying no too is that you can say no even if you just don't feel like it. If you're tired, if you just want to have like a self-care night by yourself, you just want to relax, it's not mean, you know, you're putting yourself first. And that's something that I learned, and the reason it made my life so much easier, because I was able to sit with myself, love on myself if I needed to. If I wanted to just say no because I needed to have a relaxing day, I would do that. Or if I knew I had to go to the gym in the morning and I couldn't go out that particular day, I would say no, and then I could go out to the gym, and it made me go after my goals more. It stopped me from feeling like super stressed about everything, because reason being is because when I was saying yes to everything, I had no time for myself. I had no time for myself, and I felt like I was just giving, and I wasn't really getting anything back or anything in return. And it wasn't necessarily anybody's fault, but it was the fact that I didn't know how to say no, like, in the past. So it was just like I was just always showing up, giving everybody me, and it was just like, no. So the moment I nipped that in the bud, the moment I started saying no to certain things, my life got so much easier, got so much peaceful, because I was able to go after the things I wanted to go after. I was able to relax, recharge, do all of that. And once I was able to do that, I started to show up better in like my friendships, and I started to show up better for other people. I started showing up better for myself. And the thing is, like, with saying no, you just have to find a balance with it. You have to find a balance. Like, you don't always have to say no. I think it's more about like prioritizing what's important to you. And once you prioritize yourself, you do not go back. You be like, girl, I'll catch you later. Like, I'll catch the next event, because I got things and I have plans and I have goals to do. And a lot of the times people will understand. They will understand, because it has nothing to necessarily do with them. It just means that, like, you know, you have to put yourself first. And oh my god, it's been the best thing. The best thing I ever learned was to put myself first, and the best thing I ever learned was to just say no to things. And if I just didn't want to do it, I'm just not going to do it. The second thing that I want to talk about that made me have a stress-free and peaceful life was having standards. Oh my goodness. When I learned to set my standards, when I learned to set my boundaries, I gained so much peace in my life, you guys. I gained so much freaking peace in my life, because you don't look. When you do not have standards, you get any and everything. Period. You get any and everything. And if you don't have standards for your life, standards for the type of guy you want to talk to, standards for your friends, standards for just the life you want to live in general, you're gonna get any and everything. And if you have no standards think about it. If you had no standards for the guy you want to be with, you might end up with somebody who does not align with you, or is going to bring you down. Like, you want to have standards for your life. Or same thing with friends. Like, it's the same thing. You don't want to end up having friends that don't support you, that don't love you. Have standards for yourself. Have standards for your friends. Have standards for the guys you let in have standards for the guys you date. Because it eases up so much pressure. Because when you state your standards and people don't like your standards, or they don't want to abide by your standards, guess what? They leave. And that makes so much peace, because it weeds away all the nonsense. It really does. And the same thing for having standards with your own life. If you know what you want out of life and you go after it and get it, you know how much peace you're gonna have in life. But if you have no standards for your life, and you're just like over here like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? How do I do this? No, you have no standards for your life. So now you're kind of confused, and you don't know which direction to go in. But when you know the standards that you have in your life, you know the things to say no to, and you know the things to say yes to. And it has brought me so much peace. Have standards for your friends, the guys you date, standards for yourself, standards for your life, anything that you can think of to have standards for. Have standards for it, because you will live a peaceful life if you have standards. If you have no standards, girl, you're gonna get stressed, you're gonna get crazy, you're gonna get all this other stuff, and you're gonna be like, why is my life in turmoil? Because you have no standards, you know? Have standards, okay? Number 3 that kind of goes along with those two is focusing on myself. And what I mean by this is, like I was talking about in the beginning, how I like learned to put myself first, but actually like really indulging in myself and focusing on me. And what I mean by this is like getting off social media when I need to get off social media, not comparing myself to other people, not looking at other people's lives and thinking that I have to be like them, you know. The minute I started to focus on myself, I gained so much, okay? Things started popping up in my life. Things started going well for my life because I was focusing on me. There was a point in time where I just used to focus on other people, and I'd be like, oh, well, I wish I could do that, and I wish I could do this. And like, it was never good because I was focusing so much on them. I was almost watering their grass. And then when I started to pull back from focusing on them, I started to water my own grass, and I started to find the areas where I was good at, the things that I were good at, and the things that I could do good, and the things that the skills that I can increase, and started to have a whole lot of self-love for myself. And I started to indulge in myself. I started to do a bunch of self-care. Like, honestly, my hair would not be this long if I hadn't focused on just like myself and learning how to grow up myself, you know. Like, literally, like, there's so many things in my life physically and mentally that I have because I started to focusing on myself. I started to focus on myself. And just like, I really just started to indulge in myself. I started journaling. I started working on my physical looks. I started working on my mental health, like all of these things. And then when I started to do that, I noticed that everything around me, wow, everything around me was just getting better and better each time. And I was starting to attract things that I want to attract, and there's still so many other things that I want to attract. So what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to continue to focus on me, okay? Stop looking at everybody else and what they got and what they have going on. No, look at yourself. Figure out what you can water, how you can water your own grass and make it nice, tall, big, and strong, okay? Because the moment you start focusing on yourself, you will not regret it, and you are going to have so much peace in your life because you're not going to be looking at everybody else like, you know, and there's a level of stress you have when you look at everybody else and think that you have to be just like that. Like, for what? For another thing that I started to do when I started to want to live a more stress-free life, I started to get ready before I had to get ready. Let me explain, okay? I used to be the type of girl that would know I have somewhere to be and will get ready in like an hour. And baby, I can't get ready in an hour. I gotta do my whole full face of makeup. I gotta do my hair. My natural hair will be looking like a mess, so I have to just like, you know, or I have to lay my wig down or something. Maybe I'm laying my lace or something, and I had to lay it down. Like, why did I think I was gonna do all that in an hour? And then on top of that, I used to go to the mall that same very day and find an outfit because I didn't have nothing to wear. You know how crazy that sounded? Like, baby, why did you think you could do that in an hour? Baby, I showed up I be showing up 5 hours late because I just did not get ready in time. Like, so now, I'm not gonna lie. If any of my friends watch this, they're probably like, girl, you still show up late. True, but I don't show up as late anymore, okay? Reason being is because I started to get ready before I had to get ready. And what I meant by this, I don't care if I don't have to go anywhere. I'm gonna get ready, okay? The only thing I'm doing today is filming, but I still got ready, okay? I got up, you know, I did my hygiene routine, as always. I did my hair and I did my makeup this morning. I did all of that and I feel so good. Like, literally, I feel so good. So like, if I have to go to the grocery store real quick, I can go to the grocery store because I'm put together, okay? I look good, I'm put together. If somebody was to invite me somewhere and I wanted to go last minute, I could go because I'm, you know, I feel like my best self, okay? Like, getting ready before you have to get ready is a game changer, okay? It's a huge game changer. It doesn't mean that you're going somewhere, but just put your best foot forward. And if your best foot forward looks like you putting on a full face of makeup or you wearing your hair a certain way, do that every day. Practice it. Make it a habit. Your best self just looks like you getting dressed. Maybe you don't wear makeup. Do that. I always say that in my videos. Your best self doesn't have to be somebody else's best self. But just make sure you're always getting ready for the day, you know? Like, it's just so nice to already be like ready, you know? Like, I did my whole self-care. I exfoliated. I did all that this morning. Girl, I'm ready to go. If I gotta go somewhere, I'm ready to go, okay? I'm ready to go, okay? And I may still show up late, but at least I'll still be ready, okay? And it has eliminated a ton of stress in my life, okay? Another thing that I started to do to live a more peaceful and stress-free life is to budget out my money and to save. Another one of those things where I just had to learn from experience. When I was in budgeting, I was stressed, okay? When they say money doesn't buy happiness, I'll be like, where? Okay, where? And I'm not playing, okay? And okay, there are things that money probably can't buy, you know, like it can't buy. I have to ponder on that. But there's stuff that money can't buy. But I will say that when you are worried about money, when you are spending like crazy, you are living a stressful life. Oh my goodness. When I was worried about money, I couldn't think of anything else, you know. I couldn't focus on me. I couldn't like focus on myself. I couldn't do none of that stuff. And I didn't have my peace of mind, walking around wondering how you know, like how you're gonna get more money, or how you're gonna do this, how you're gonna do that. But if you start to learn how to budget, you realize that you have a lot more money than you think you do. And you start not spending your money on reckless things, and then you also have money to actually spend on the things that you want to. And also when you save, like you have like things to put your money toward, rather than putting your money towards like useless things like clothes, hair, make, like those stuff are nice, don't get me wrong, obviously, like I buy those stuff, but it's something where you're like, you have to learn as like becoming the woman that you want to be. I know I talk about that a lot, but like you have to learn that a lot of it too is your finances and getting that in check to be the woman you want to be, because you no longer can be in that mindset of just spending. The next thing I want to talk about is becoming unbothered. Oh my goodness. I did a video on how to become unbothered, so check it out. But that is the best thing I've ever did for my life, because when I became unbothered, girl, I started putting my attention towards things that needed more of my attention rather than things that didn't need my attention. And a lot of the times when you start to love on yourself, when you love yourself, when you know yourself, when you focus on yourself, you start to realize that a lot of things that you used to put your attention on doesn't need a response, or doesn't need for you to over explain, or doesn't need you to be like, you know, attended to. And if people are wanting to be weird and try to get you to be bothered, like you don't have to put your attention towards it. And that is the best thing that I've ever done, because it caused me a less stress. Becoming unbothered was like the best thing that I ever did, because I just started to pay attention to more of what I needed to pay attention to rather than what I didn't need to pay attention to. So yeah, that was the end of my video. I hope you guys liked it. I loved it myself. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I've been trying to be really consistent, if you didn't notice. And yeah, I love it here. I love to film. I love this is fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye.